got a name, miss?
Elizabeth.
Hi everyone, it's Jane for Outside Xbox, and we've got brand new BioShock Infinite DLC to show you. Burial at Sea is the name of the second and third parts of BioShock Infinite's impending DLC. Good news, it's story-based, and it's set in Rapture. Burial at Sea is Irrational's love letter to the fans. It's a two-part detective story set in Rapture on New Year's Eve 1958. That's the night of the bombing that started the revolution in Rapture and 1 year before the fall of the city. Burial at Sea lets you see Rapture at its height, not the crumbling ruin that we explored in the first two BioShock games. In Part 1 you play as Booker. He's a private detective in Rapture, approached by femme fatale Elizabeth, who needs help solving a problem. Part 2 of the DLC will let you play as Elizabeth herself. As you'd imagine, gameplay will be quite different as Elizabeth. In fact, it's more story-focused with less emphasis on combat.
The girl promised me a way out, and I was desperate enough to believe her.
Rather than recycling environments from the first two BioShock games, Irrational has created almost all of the Rapture elements in Burial at Sea from scratch in the BioShock Infinite engine. This is a pre-fall Rapture, so we'll see the city in its Objectivist heyday and meet characters from the first two games before they go as crazy as they are in BioShocks 1 and 2.
City at the bottom of the ocean. Ridiculous.
According to Irrational creative director Ken Levine, the DLC will include classic BioShock themes and enemies, as well as the pristine, unspoiled Rapture. We'll also be seeing the return of Big Daddies, although Levine wouldn't go into detail on how they'd be included. He did, however, confirm the new DLC would include a new weapon and a new Vigor and/or Plasmid thing for you to use. We're a bit surprised by Burial at Sea, since Irrational has chosen to tell an entirely new story in this DLC instead of tying up loose ends from the main game as expected. However, Levine has said mysteriously Burial at Sea does fit into the world of Infinite. We'll find out exactly what that means for the broader story of BioShock Infinite when we get our hands on it later this year.
Well, you got a name, miss?
Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
We were all buried at sea. We just didn't know it yet.
For more on BioShock Infinite DLC, be sure to check out Clash in the Clouds, the first slice of BioShock Infinite downloadable content. Click through for that gameplay video and subscribe to Outside Xbox for even more.